Hey, Matthew, ready to answer another question?
You bet. Let's see what we can do to help out what is it? New York City Night, NYC Night here.
Absolutely. They have an itemized sales report and breakdowns. Looks like they're new to the Merchant Center, so they're actually pulling their funds in from the Merchant Center, and they're not seeing their sales detail. So they need to figure out a way to see their detail and not just the net amount that hits their bank account.
Sounds like what they're looking to do is create a zero total sales receipt, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So now, two ways to kind of go about this. The first one, which is really probably the most recommended, is double check to see with your point of sale system. They may have a way to do an integration with QuickBooks Online to be able to pull this data in for you. But in case that doesn't exist, we can show you how to do a zero total sales receipt, which is basically going to break out the different areas of what you're trying to track. We heard it was a restaurant, so we basically did it as you've got your food transactions. We did our bar transactions, our total tips, and our total sales tax collected. So that basically combines all the different items together, would be all the money in for the day. And then we have to actually bring that back down by the ways that people paid as well. So we did a cash item for the total cash collected. We have the credit card and debit payments for the amount, as well as like checks received. Really important aspect when you're going about this is you're going to want to match up however the payments are going to hit the bank is going to be the way you want to break this out. So if you also take American Express, and if those are deposited separately from your Visa and your MasterCard and everything else, you're going to want to put those as separate line items. The ultimate goal being that when you go through this, you'll end up with a zero balance, so you can see for the day the total amount. And then when you've designed this and you set up just the way you want, you should also turn this into a reoccurring transaction sale. So by clicking and turning it into a reoccurring transaction sale, you can set up the structure to be used over and over every single day. So now you're just doing the data entry of the amounts for each of the items itself instead of having to type everything in every single time.
Time saver.
Yeah, huge time saver. So now the end result would be, we actually, when we created these different items, we did two categories. We did like daily transactions for our bar sales, our food, our sales tax, and our tips. And then we did another one for payments for the different types of payments received. So that way, when we create a report, we can kind of minimize this down and see what our totals were. So if we were to extend the dates, we'd be able to see the total amount for the different areas to get the same kind of information for a week, a month, a day, whatever you prefer. What do you think?
That makes a really clean report too. I
Okay.
just think that's a great way to do it, and it's really the recommended way is making the recurring transaction and just entering the data for each Z-tape. Basically, you want to put them in as you get them. Like you said, the best way is see if your POS. Most of them do connect. That's what's great about QuickBooks Online. They do connect to QuickBooks Online, and they'll actually create a sales receipt just like this for you. So, that's exactly why you'd want to try to do that and save the step of having to do it. But if you can't, you've made this beautiful, clean report here that just shows exactly what you need to see, and it's showing your zero at the end. That's a perfect report for this. And you can save the report too. Make it a customized report, save it.
So the last thing to keep in mind is when you create the different items that you're going to use on your sales receipt, it's important to take into consideration what accounts you're hitting as you created those items. So for your different payment types, your different sales, if you wanted to see on your profit and loss that breakout of your food sales versus your bar sales, you would create sub accounts inside of your income accounts, and you would tie those items to those accounts just to make sure you could see it the way you want on the P&L too.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Hope this helped. If you've got any more questions, feel free to reach out to either one of us through the community. We're here to do what we can to help you out. Thanks, Lynda.
Bye, Matt.